Hello there. Welcome. Right now, there's no rush, no notifications, no deadlines, no noise. Just the sea and you. I'm sitting here in Tranquebar, also known as Tharangambadi, a small coastal town in Tamil Nadu where history doesn't shout, it whispers. The name Tharangambadi means the land of the singing waves. And if you listen carefully, you can hear them. Let the wave sound breathe. Look at these waves. They don't compete, they don't compare, they don't rush. One comes, it rises, it crashes, it disappears. And yet, another one follows. Life is exactly like this. You fail, another wave comes. You lose money, another wave comes. You lose people, another wave comes. The sea never runs out of waves. Why do we think life runs out of chances?
This peaceful shore once saw ships from faraway lands. In the early 1600s, European ships sailed across dangerous oceans to reach this very coast. And here in 1620, the Danes arrived into Tranquebar. They built a strong fort here called Fort Dansborg. Imagine that! 400 years ago, where you now see fishermen and waves, there were soldiers, traders, cannons, negotiations. The sea was the highway of the world, and Tranquebar was a global port. From a tiny town like Tranquebar to an international trade center. Never underestimate small beginnings. Look around at this Tranquebar. This place is not loud like Chennai, not crowded like Mumbai. It's simple. But do you know what happened here?
In 1706, two German missionaries arrived into Tranquebar. One of them was Bartholomeus Ziegenbalg, and something powerful happened here. The first printing press in India for Tamil language printing started in Tranquebar. Let that sink in. The first Tamil printed books were printed here. A small coastal town shaped the literary history of Tamil. So tell me, are you still thinking your background defines your future? No. Your focus defines your future. When you sit before the ocean, your problems feel small, not because they disappear, but because you see perspective. The sea has seen empires rise, empires fall, colonial rule begin, colonial rule end, tsunamis strike, fishermen rebuild, and still the waves continue. If the sea can survive centuries, you can survive one bad year.
In 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami hit this coast. Tranquebar was affected deeply. Homes were destroyed, lives were shaken. But today, children play here, boats sail again, tourists walk peacefully. Resilience, that's the real power of this place. You can break, but you don't have to stay broken. Close your eyes for a second. Hear the waves. Each wave is a reminder. You are not late. You are not finished. You are not behind. Your tide will rise. Just because it is low tide today doesn't mean the ocean has abandoned you. Imagine Danish ships anchored right here in Tranquebar beachside. The Danish East India Company made this their base in India. The fort stood tall against the sea wind. Trade flowed between Denmark and Tamil Nadu. Spices, textiles, culture. Tranquebar became a bridge between Europe and South India. And yet, today it is quiet. History doesn't always stay loud, but it stays meaningful. The sea teaches three things: patience, power, letting go. The wave rises powerfully, but it also knows when to dissolve. Sometimes strength is not holding on. Sometimes strength is surrender. If you are watching this, maybe you're building something: a company, a career, a comeback. Listen, the sea didn't become vast in one day. It was formed drop by drop. Your growth will be like that. Small uploads, small improvements, small wins. One day, people will call it overnight success, but you and the sea will know the truth. Tranquebar is unique. You see Danish architecture, Tamil streets, church bells, temple sounds. It's proof that cultures can meet without destroying each other. In a world divided by opinions, this town stands as quiet evidence that coexistence is possible. As the sun begins to lower, the sky changes color: orange, gold, purple. The sea reflects everything. It doesn't reject the sky, it embraces it. Be like the sea. Reflect light, absorb lessons, release pain. This is Tranquebar, the land where waves sing. And if you listen closely, they are singing to you.
Now we leave the shore and step into history. As we walk forward, you can see it rising ahead. The majestic Fort Dansborg, built in 1620 at Tranquebar. This fort has faced cyclones, salt winds, colonial wars, and yet it stands. Walls slightly weathered, but unbroken. There's something powerful about old walls. They don't speak loudly, but they hold stories. Fort Dansborg is one of the largest Danish forts outside Denmark. Its thick yellow walls glow under the sun. Inside, there were warehouses, governor's residence, soldier quarters. From here, trade was managed. Decisions were made that affected thousands of lives. And today, tourists walk quietly through it. Time humbles everything. Colonial-style houses, wooden doors, faded pastel walls. Some houses still carry Danish architectural influence. Arched windows, high ceilings, verandas facing the sea breeze. Tranquebar is not just a town, it's a preserved memory. Zion Church, built in 1701, one of the oldest Protestant churches in India.
Simple structure, white walls, peaceful silence. Faith crossed oceans to reach here. Think about that. People sailed months, risking death for belief. What are you willing to risk for your dream? New Jerusalem Church, built in 1718. It still stands strong. History is not always in textbooks. Sometimes it stands quietly in small towns like Tranquebar, waiting for someone to notice. Tamil fishermen, Danish architecture, Christian churches, nearby temples. Tranquebar is proof that identity can be layered. You can hold tradition and still welcome change. You can respect the past and build the future. As we circle back toward the coastline, the fort stands behind us, the sea ahead. Past behind, future ahead. That's life. Learn from history, walk forward anyway. Tranquebar is not just a tourist place, it is a metaphor. The waves sing, the fort stands, the town remembers. And you are still building. If this sea can sing for centuries, your voice can rise too. If this fort can stand for 400 years, you can stand through one difficult season. If this small town can leave a global mark, so can you. This is Tranquebar, where waves meet history, where silence speaks, and where every tide whispers, rise again.